Yes, my people, what is going on? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. So it has been a couple of days since I picked up the camera to record last. I'm assuming if you're watching this video right now, you'll already have seen the show day vlog. And if you haven't, go back and watch that shit, guys. It is a movie. I did actually request 200 likes on that video, and I can confirm that we have hit 200 likes. I will need to check what it's on right now, but 216 likes, guys, 1.9k views in the first day and 2 hours. So legends, you really ran that video up for me, guys, but we've got to keep this momentum going moving forward. So make sure if you're watching this video that you drop a like down below and you keep that love and support going, guys. Thank you very much. So in this video, I want to touch off a couple of things. I suppose, first of all, I want to give a little bit of a post-show review, as there was a couple of differences in my look versus Scotland and Ireland, and I want to touch off that a little bit. I'm going to go over what the next steps are from here, as I'm sure everyone kind of wants to hear that. Had a lot of people after the show going, oh, you're going to do another pro qualifier? What's the story? You're going to keep competing? I'm going to touch off all of that now. And then lastly, what I want to speak about is just a little bit of an update as to where I'm at right now. It's been a couple of days since the show. How am I doing? You know, how am I feeling? Where's my food at? Where's my body weight at? All those other sort of updates, as I know people are probably interested to hear what's going on. So first of all, guys, post-show review. Obviously, if you watch my show day video, you know that it was pretty much the dream outcome, okay? We came, we saw, we conquered, we secured the overall, and we got a very, very respectable third place in the pro qualifier out of 13 competitors. And honestly, guys, I got a couple of extra bits of footage last night off one of the lads of the evening show, the pro qualifier show, and that top three, you know, without sounding too arrogant, it was a lot closer than I originally anticipated. When I actually got into the first callouts, they moved me straight into the center, and I was not moved during that first call out. So when I got off stage, I originally thought, holy fuck, I'm first or second. I didn't think I was first. I was like, look, I've probably gotten second place here. But in the first call outs, I was in the middle. The guy who was beside me, they moved him out and moved somebody else in. It was Sam originally who was beside me. They moved Sam out. They moved the dude who actually won in. And then they brought us off stage. They brought us back on stage, and they did like a top 5 comparison. And during that top 5 comparison, I was just one out to the side. So I think I kind of knew at that stage that I wasn't actually in first place, but still a very, very good outcome, guys. And off the back of that result, I know that I am super, super fucking close. So you're probably asking, you know, why don't you keep competing? I'll get to that. But first, let's talk about Ireland, the difference in the look and what we changed heading into this show that I think led to a much better look. And one thing you have to realize, guys, is that like this is only me and Kuba's fifth show ever. So we've tried a lot of different things. He kind of knows my body pretty well at this stage, but we ran things a little bit differently this time around. We did a couple of different things in terms of like the cycle adjustments in between shows, and you know, different manipulations and stuff. One of which was actually accidental, which I'm super glad that we actually ended up doing. But I'll touch off that in just a second. So I don't think I've actually ever eaten as much heading into a show, guys, okay? So in the lead up to the show, we did an extra day of a peak versus where we would have kind of eaten up into Scotland. So I think I started eating the Friday. I did Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it's 9 days of eating progressively as we headed into the show. Now, normally I would start off moderate, then I would load heavy, and then I would pull back a little bit as we headed into the show. This time around, we actually started off pretty moderate, okay, with like 3,900 calories-ish, and then we ran that for like 2 days. And then after that, we actually started to kind of increase things from here. Let me just get up my Ireland peak. Yeah, so on the Sunday, we would have ran with 518 carb, Monday, 650, Tuesday, 738, Wednesday, 650. And then the 2 days before the show, we did 760 and 770. So for the Scotland show, we would have pulled back the day before the show and eaten a little bit more the day of the show. For Ireland, we did something different where we actually kept the food nice and high the 2 days before the show. And then I kind of really, really held all of that fullness. And then when I woke up on show day morning on the Saturday, I didn't need as much food. So I actually only ate like 200 grams of carbs before I stepped on stage for the regional. I think for Scotland, we did like double that. okay? And I do think I was potentially a little bit spilled at Scotland, right? So that would have been one difference. We loaded up a little bit heavier the days before, and then we just held that look the morning of the show, because I do find I look better when I wake up, and I kind of, that fasted look in the morning is always quite good for me. And I wake up, I'm like on point, and then I didn't really need too much water. I didn't really need too much food. I just needed to hold how I looked. Second thing we did is we actually ran with a little bit less water than we did the last time around. So I think I drank about 4 litres before I stepped on stage in Scotland. And I only drank like 2 litres before I stepped on stage in Ireland. And then in between the regional and the pro qualifier, I only drank like another 2 litres as well. So didn't have that much fluid. Now I do think that my evening look at the pro qualifier wasn't as good and as sharp and as full and just as good in general as the morning show was at the regional. I think even by like 2 p.m. before I went back to the venue, as you would have seen in the show day video, I was still looking pretty on. But then I think I faded just a touch by the time it came like 4:30 and it was time for me to get on stage. So I don't know, did I just maybe get a little bit tired, or did I just need an extra little bit more food? I'm not entirely sure, but look, it's all data that we can kind of take with us to the future. But yeah, that was one of the big differences. More food beforehand and just a little bit less water, right? And linear loading has always worked super, super well for me, because it does take days for my physique to come back around. And when you're pushing really hard, guys, you know, the old school bro thing of just throwing 1,000 grams of carbs in for 2 days straight, it only does enough in most cases to just bring you up out of the fatigue hole that you're actually in. It doesn't really fill you out. It doesn't really freshen you up. And I always found that when I've done previous mini cuts or previous diets or whatever, when I'm like 10 days to 2 weeks post diet and I'm reversing up and I'm coming out, I always look better. I maintain the same level of condition, but I'm just much fuller, much fresher. You know, the mood is better, you're less stressed, you're less anxious, all those other sort of factors. So it's just the way to kind of go, in my opinion, right? Now, drugs-wise, what was different? So we didn't have any Winstrol in at all for the Scotland show. We kept the oral use extremely moderate with 25 mg of Anavar in, okay? After Scotland, a couple of days after that, we bumped the Anavar up to 50 milligrams and we bumped the Winstrol in, I put the Winstrol in at 25 milligrams. So I was running an extra 50 milligrams a day of orals. Obviously Winstrol, dry, you know, a little bit of a drier kind of a look. So those orals were at play, and obviously they do give a big cosmetic look. And even in Scotland, I was kind of like to Cuba, I was like, are we adding the Winstrol in? He was like, no, we'll kind of save that tool, we'll use it afterwards. And I was kind of thinking like, why? Why would I not be my best? And why would I not just put an extra little bit in to be a little bit sharper at Scotland or whatever? But I was like, look, I'll just listen, I'll just do what I'm told, whatever. And I did. But now I'm kind of glad that I added the Winstrol in between the shows, because I looked so much better in Ireland, and everyone was like, fuck, like, what did you do? How did you improve so much in 3 weeks? And look, it's not all the drugs. There was those manipulations to food. There was those manipulations to water. But the drugs definitely did play a factor. Another thing, the night before, or the night of, I think, that I got up to Dublin, I was so preoccupied with unpacking my bags and getting to bed and all that other sort of stuff, I forgot to take my GH, okay? So we had GH in at 5 units. I completely forgot to take it. And then I woke up at like, still pretty heavy, like 97.2 or something like that, the morning of the weigh-in. And I was like, Cuba, fuck, I forgot to take my GH last night. What'll I do? Will I put it back in? Blah, 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 blah. And he said, no, at this stage, we just can't do it, right? And if I put GH in that day, I could have been heavier for when I weighed in that night, etc., etc. So we left it out. Now, one thing I actually did say to Cuba halfway through the prep was that my 2 favorite looks from during the year, I remember I went to PCA Derry, right, for my client Connor's show. And I was just like, look, I'm going to Derry for 2-3 days. I'm not going to bother bringing my GH. It doesn't matter. At the time, I was coming up out of the back of my mini cut. I'd been reversing for a couple of weeks. I looked really good. I was still lean. I was full or whatever. And I got over. I didn't take my GH that night. And I went into the gym the next morning. And I was like, holy fuck. I look so lean here. What's going on? And I think it was just that subtle shift in water. Now, for me, I really rate GH and I really like GH. I think it brings a great look to my physique. Roundness, fullness, maintains my body composition over time. And a lot of people will pull GH out as they're leading into a show. We did that last season at like 3 weeks out. And I feel like my look just got worse and worse and worse. And my recovery got worse and worse and worse. So I think for me, literally just pulling it, boom, at the last minute, it gives me all the benefits in terms of like a shift in water retention. But it's not out for so long that I like lose that fullness, I lose that pop, my sleep gets poor, I lose out on the recovery benefits of it, etc., right? GH is back in now again, but you know, I do think that literally pulling that out like 2 days before I stepped on stage, it did sharpen me right up a crazy fucking amount. So there was a lot of things when you actually think about it, guys, that we did change here, right? Different approach to food, different approach to water, GH pulled out, higher orals. So tons of different things that we changed. And it's been a huge learning for me as a competitor and as a coach in terms of the peaking process. I think there were stress factors that were potentially a little bit lower or a little bit better managed or whatever. I was very confident going into the Ireland show, as you've seen in that last vlog. You know, I was like, before I even stepped on stage to Cuba, I was like, I think I have this. Like, I fancy myself for the show. Like, I was confident, you know, like I a part of me knew I was going to win. I just needed to get up there and win, you know? So yeah, anyway, that is the post-show review. That's what we did differently, because I did get a ton of questions on that. So hopefully that answers it for you guys. Now, before we move on to what's next and why am I not competing and blah, 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 I just want to plug quickly my online coaching. So guys, I now have capacity to take more people on board now that my competition season is over. I did close my doors there for about 3 weeks whilst I was going through those 2 peaks, but now we're getting the ball rolling again. Okay, I've got many calls this week. I have a consultation call this evening at 4:30. I've got 3 clients that I have set up / need to set up. One of them's onboarding has already been sent out. I have another fella's plan done. I need to send that out now shortly. And then I got one more onboarding to do tomorrow. Okay, so, you know, the consultations have kind of been rolling in, the inquiries have been rolling in, and it's going to be a big push for me now to just grow and expand the team. So if anybody is interested in being coached by me, whether you want to get on stage, whether you just want to get yourself in sick shape or get elite results, or whether you just want to change your lifestyle and clean things up a little bit, I work with people from all levels, guys, and I've got experience coaching hundreds of people, no matter where they are in their journey. So if you are looking to make a change, take your physique to the next level, get real fucking results, and you want someone experienced who's going to guide you, actually keep you accountable, keep you motivated as well, basically just give you a kick up the hole when you need to have a kick up the hole and keep you disciplined and keep you in check, then I'm your guy. So inquiry form, application form for coaching is down below, guys. If you want to work with me, fill in that form and I will reach out. So now that has been done, what's next? Right, before I even started prep this year, I knew I wasn't going to be at a pro standard, okay? I knew that. I said that plenty of times during this prep series. And one thing I also said during this prep series is that my results actually exceeded my expectations. I was extremely happy with the amount of progress I was able to make in such a short space of time. In a 15-month off season, I put on like 8 kg of tissue, okay? That's good fucking going, you know? We've got another 8 months coming up, planned 8 months of being in a surplus. I think I can put on 4, maybe even 5 kg of tissue at a push. But I think 4 kg based off my previous off season is doable, because this off season, I'm going to do things even better. I'm locked in. My training is going to be better. My diet is going to be better. The 1% are just going to be better and better and better and better. I'm constantly improving my process, and this is going to be a big one. So I always knew and had planned that next year, next season, after this season, was going to be my pro run. It was going to be the first time I was going to try and attempt to get a pro card. Will I get it? Who knows? But I'm going to fucking try my hardest, guys. If I don't get it next year, I think I'll be pretty damn fucking close. But obviously, doing tons of pro qualifiers in different countries, flying around the place, all that other sort of jazz, it is expensive as fuck. So my plan this year was just do a prep, get more experience, stage experience, confidence, all those other sort of things, and then just continue to save for the rest of the year and then do a proper run of pro qualifiers next year. And again, guys, dream outcome, because I went into this year with zero expectations, just wanted to get on stage, wanted to get more experience, but I won a fucking overall and I came top 3 to pro qualifier. So I feel like if I did keep going right now, I would still be getting good results, but I still wouldn't be where I need to be. So a lot of people are like, why aren't you keep competing? Why don't you do pro qualifiers or whatever? I'm still not there yet, guys. I'm still not at that standard. I'm close, but doing all these shows, I'd be beating a dead horse. I'd be going to all of these shows and I'd be coming close. I don't want to be coming close. I want to be stepping on stage next year and I want to be fucking undeniable. Whether I will be or not, I don't know. But my goal is to be undeniable. My goal is to rock up on stage at any pro qualifier in any country next year and just fucking smoke people, okay? And that is what I'm going to work towards. So I'm not wasting any time. I'm getting straight back to work. I'm getting straight into the off season. We'll spend our time recovering and then we're going to fucking crack on, okay? So that is what my plan of action is. Now, what shows are we going to be doing? So I think I've alluded to this already, but I really want to do those Alicante shows in Spain, okay? So next year you got the Amateur Olympia at the start of June. 2 weeks later, you've got the M-Pro. So I was planning on just going out and fucking spending like 3 weeks in Spain. Week of a training camp in the peak week in the lead up to the first show, and then in between shows, not having to travel back and travel back over, but literally just spending the money to actually stay in Alicante, train in Alicante, eat my meals, have a consistent schedule, because I think that's going to keep me in a much better spot. Traveling fucking kills me, guys. Even traveling to Scotland and traveling to Ireland, which isn't that big of a deal, I was just about able to manage that and bring good looks to stage. Flying to a different country, completely different kettle of fish. So we've got those 2 shows in June. And then I think a week after the Impro, there's Dubai. That could be pushing it though, from like a finances / traveling perspective, right? Going Impro, Dubai, literally 1 week after the next. And then another week after that, we've got Italy. So Italy will be 2 weeks after Alicante. So I could just fly back to the UK after Alicante, you know, and then a week later fly out to Italy. So I think that's a more realistic plan for me to actually do. And that's what my plan is, at least do those 3 pro qualifiers. But after doing the muscle contest Ireland, guys, I'm kind of eyeing up that show again next year. Chloe also wants to do that show next year. So I'm pretty tempted. I'm pretty tempted. Now, what we have scheduled and planned right now is 6-week recovery phase, because my bloods were pretty fucking decent, okay? 6-week recovery phase, which is bring us up to the end of June, where I would start my push-up, which is going to be for 23 weeks in duration. So that would end on the 7th of December. Then from there, if I do another 6-week cruise, we will be starting prep on the 19th of January, okay? If we then say that Muscle Contest Ireland is going to be on the exact same time next year as it was this year, that gives 17 weeks up until the Muscle Contest Ireland. Cuba might not run with that. It might not be enough time. I reckon I'd be able to make it. It was 20 weeks to the first show, Scotland this year. I did lose 2 weeks just from being sick or whatever. But I think if I can keep things very tidy, I can start prep extremely lean, even leaner than I did last year. I think it's going to be doable, okay? But even with the current plan I have there, like that'd be 17 weeks, right, for the Muscle Contest Ireland. But even with the Alicante show, it'd be 20 weeks at the Alicante show, the first one. So it timelines up absolutely perfectly for that first June show, but it doesn't really timeline that well up for the Muscle Contest Ireland, I don't think. Maybe at a push we might be able to do it, but guys, I'm gonna have to fucking do a regional anyway before I go and do a pro qualifier in Alicante. So whether one lines up well in the UK or not, I don't know. I'm going to have to do a regional. So why not go back home, do the Muscle Contest Ireland regional again, do the Muscle Contest Ireland pro qualifier, and then that will be my first out of 4 pro qualifiers. And who knows, if I win that show, I'll just have a fucking 3-week holiday out in Alicante. Or I could do the fucking pro show. Who knows? Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here. But that is the rough plan of action, guys. Now, I have to run that by Cuba, obviously, but I think he'll be good to go with that. So this was a way longer clip than I actually realized, guys. But that is the post-show review. That is the plan of action for what's next. And make sure, guys, you stay tuned, because this off-season, it's going to be short, it's going to be snappy, it's going to be push, it's going to be a good one. And before we fucking know it, we're going to be cracking prep again next year. Gunning for that pro card, hunting for it. I feel like I've finally earned the right to say that. I always said to Chloe, I need to win an overall first before I even say I'm going for a pro card. I've done that. I think I've earned the right now to say I'm going for a pro card. So no one wants to be that guy, you know, pro card, pro run, whatever. And like, you've literally done nothing in the sport. So yeah. So guys, that's where we're at. That is the post-show review. That is the plans moving forward. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already and you're watching this video. And guys, sign up. Sign up. Get me to coach you. If you want sick results, you want to look like me, you want to be sicko, fill out that form down below. Let's get it. All right, guys, so we're just downstairs about to consume the pre-workout meal, and I am extremely excited for this. And I'll tell you why. Because it has actually been 5 days since I have consumed some Conte Sports cream of rice. And you know what we have here, guys. We've got the GOAT, the white chocolate hazelnut, best cream of rice flavor of all time. So if you've not already tried this, guys, quit playing. Use code DMAC10, go on to Conte Sports, pick yourself up some cream of rice. You will not be disappointed. So, pre-workout meal going down, guys. Whoa, look at that. We have got 120 grams of cream of rice, 120 grams of strawberries, and 50 grams of the salted caramel Conte Repair Whey, which is just the best drip of all time. And of course, guys, what are we missing? Sweet cinnamon. Let's get a whack of that on there. Boom. Now the meal is complete. And I nearly forgot I actually need to throw together my intra-workout drink, which I forgot to do earlier. I normally do it after meal too, but I'm a little bit out of routine. So I'm going to throw that together, guys, and I'm going to show you what we're working with for the intra. All right, my people. So pre and intra-workout supplementation today. For the pre, we are going to have half a scoop of the pump and half a scoop of Mega Pump. I've actually not tried this as a duo, so I'm going to try it today and let you know how I get on. Then inside our intra jug here, we have got 30 grams of Carb Drive. We've got 1 scoop of HydroFlow, 15 grams of essential gains and 5 grams of creatine. So that is the intra-workout stack, guys. Again, use code DMAC10 if you want to pick yourself up some of this. Intra-workout supplementation is absolutely key in my eyes. You want to make sure, guys, if you're training, that you do have a protein serving in there. So EAA is going to give you that kind of protein serving that you need. I spend probably about 4 hours in between when I eat my post-workout meal. It's my largest window in between meals of the day. So making sure that I get those EAAs in there just gives me that MPS spike, just to make sure I'm not wasting away and getting small. The intra-carbs then obviously just going to replenish that glycogen as I'm burning through my workout, which when you are in prep, guys, or dieting is extremely important. Even though my food was super low in prep, I did not pull my intra-workout drink once at all. And I think it is tremendously beneficial to actually have some intra in there when you're dieting to make sure that you're keeping your training performance during your sessions. And then of course, guys, HydroFlow, just because the GOAT, the best product ever. And it tastes amazing, right? The essential gains are strawberry kiwi flavor, got lemon raspberry there in HydroFlow. So looking forward to seeing what that combination is like. Now, the good thing about these three, guys, the HydroFlow, the essential gains, and the carb drive, is that Conte on their website actually do a bundle where they do a discount on those three products. I believe it's £94.88. And let's say you train 5 days a week, okay? That bundle will actually last you at least 6 weeks. So with that, right, if you actually use code DMAC10, you'll get an extra 10% off that bundle. So I think it works out at around £85, which if you train 5 days a week and that lasts 6 weeks, that's less than £15 per week, guys, for your intra-workout supplementation, which in my opinion is an absolute fucking bargain. So guys, Conte, best in the game, get on the website, use code DMAC10, pick yourself up some intra-workout, make sure you're not being a small skinny bitch in the gym, and of course, try the cream of rice, guys. Just get it, just trust me. So I finally get to consume my pre-workout meal, so I will do that now. Come back out, get my coffee, sit down, relax, watch a little bit of YouTube, and then we'll catch up with you in the gym. I'm actually in the gym today shooting with explosive fibers with Cooper Films, so I'll grab a couple of behind the scenes bits of that for you and show you what sort of new pieces explosive fibers we're going to be coming out with very soon. Yes, guys, so we are home. We are back at Ultraflex Rotherham Gym. So I've just been sitting down writing up my new logbook, which is going to be the first session of my fresh training plan. So fresh split, guys, fresh opportunity, fresh chance to progress and make progress. I'm absolutely buzzing to get stuck into it today. So I'm not going to record today's session on the DJI. I'm going to grab a couple of clips for Instagram. But what I will do is post session, I'll sit down in the car and I'll overlay the clips, and I'm going to just basically review how today's session was, how I found the new exercises and movements, etc., etc. There is actually one piece of kit on today's plan today that I've never used before, so I'm looking forward to using that and seeing how I get on. We don't have a ton of volume today, guys. I think it's 12 sets across the board, so my volume is going to be very low on this new training plan. So we're not heading back in with like a D volume setup or anything like that. We're going back on full volume because, well, my volume's already fucking baseline anyway, and we're going to start to titrate it up as I finish the recovery process. I get back on cycle, etc., etc. So we're going to get stuck into it today, guys. I'm fucking so happy to be here, to be honest. 6 days off the gym is definitely too long for me mentally, so I'm looking forward to just getting a little bit of blood moving, getting a bit of a pump. I imagine I'm not going to feel too strong today. I shouldn't really be saying that. I should get my mindset a little bit more locked in. But we'll see how we get on, guys. But we'll get stuck into the session. I'll review it for you afterwards. And yeah, let's get it, guys. All right, guys. Session is wrapped up. Nice. And we've got Mr. Cooper Films here, who says I have got some nice new bits today. So they're catching me at a good time, a couple of days post-show, to have a shoe. Oh, let me take a look. Oh, nice. Very, very nice.
It's a very nice piece.
That is a nice piece. Beautiful stuff. And then it's a large, is it?
Yep.
Oh God, they're sending me larges now. They're saying I'm small, are they? Because I'm peeled. It'll fit me now for the next fucking month, and then after that, it'll be fucked. And then we've got shirt. Yeah, I love a good shirt. A couple other bits there. Oh fuck, we got a lot of bits. So it looks like we're going to be a while shooting. But at this stage, myself and Cooper, we're pros. We've been shooting together for Explosive for the last like 2 years.
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Fuck, has it been that long? I was actually the first person to do a shoot with him.
Shoot number one.
Shoot number one. Shoot number one for Explosive Fibers. I was the very first person out there. And we've done about 20 shoots ever since, I'd say. Easily.
Yeah,
More, probably like 25, 30. But yeah, we'll get cracking now because Cooper's been waiting a little while for me to finish my session, so I don't want to take the piss with his time too much. I'll set the camera up, get a couple of bits, quick bits for you, and yeah, we'll bang all these out. Let's get it.
Go back in the front. I've not been instructed to do videos today.
Just pictures.
It's all good, baby. Videos taken.
Oh, this feels like a different thing than the last one.
It's like,
Oh, that's much better. It's a little bit bigger. That's perfect. That's actually sweet. Pretty sick this one, to be fair. Nice. I do actually need some t-shirts that are a little bit shorter to wear with my short shorts for the summer, so I can accept these. Alright my people, how are we? So we have just wrapped up the push session and the shoot with Cooper for Explosive Fibers. No videos or reels done for the shoot today, just pictures, so it was short and sweet, thank God, as man is hungry, let me tell you that much. So Chloe has the odd post-workout meal on it, so I do not have the time to do the session review right now like I had actually originally planned to, but I'm going to do it when I get back home to the desk and I'm actually editing this video. I do have a setup to send out and a consultation call as well, but I'm hoping I'm going to have time to do all of that by this evening. I think I should, but we'll head home now, guys. We'll get the old post-workout meal into us, and then I'll catch up with you for the session review. But very good session overall. Actually only took me like an hour to do. So because we are doing the arm day now, and we've pulled a lot of the volume away from the push day and the pull day, it was a lot shorter of a session than I would have liked to have done, and then I'm used to doing for push. But I also have to realize that my volume is pretty baseline at the moment as well. Like even for my main press, I only had one set, you know, so it didn't really take me that much time in the gym and resting between sets and stuff like that. But once we get stuck into the off season, guys, the volume will definitely be titrated up a little bit. And last off season, I could actually handle quite a lot of volume when it came to push, more than I'd ever done previously before in the past. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case this time around, and I think it will be, to be honest. But yeah, we got some nice bits off Explosive Fibers today, I must say. Even though the nicest bits they sent me, they've got some new t-shirts and they're fucking unbelievable. But for whatever reason, they sent me a large. I've always gotten extra large clothing off them. I got these shirts in a large today, which is actually good because they're normally super baggy. But the fucking t-shirts they sent me, unbelievable t-shirts, all in a large. So they're kind of just a little bit too small on me. Well, they're like a perfect fit, but I'm so used to wearing oversized clothing that it feels like they're belly tops on me. You get me? Like when I lift up my arms, they don't show my belly, but they're like just on the cusp of my waistband. And normally I like a little bit more length on the t-shirts. However, I do like to wear short shorts in the summertime. And I have actually purchased a few more short shorts recently. The one issue I do have when I'm wearing short shorts is that I've got short shorts, but oversized tees. So I'm kind of thinking in my head, you know what? These will actually be perfect for wearing with the shorts. So maybe it's not such a bad thing at all. Look guys, beggars can't be choosers. I do actually get all those clothes for free, so I can't really complain. No discount code for Explosive Fibers, unfortunately, even though a lot of people ask me. And again, three of those fucking, I don't want to say it, right? But you know, if you've watched my previous videos, you're going to know. So 3 dudes in the gym today came up to me mid-shoot asking me about the clothes. Are these new? Are these on the internet? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, guys, go and fucking buy the clothes if you want them, and I'm not giving them to you. Like, fucking plagues. I actually got pretty snappy and annoyed at all of them today, to be honest. Oh my good God. Anyway, guys, we'll drive home now. Less ranting. We get our post-workout meal in. I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Yes, my people, what is happening? So work has been wrapped up for the evening. It is 5 to 6, and we're going to run through the training review for you guys today and let you know what I thought of the session. Before I go through the first exercise, I did actually make a slight adjustment to what this was supposed to be, because if you guys remember from just before I started prep and at the beginning of prep, I did actually injure both of my pecs and nearly tore the fucking both of them. My left pec is still a little bit dodgy, so I actually removed both of my pec fly variations during my prep training program and putting the Nautilus pec fly, the pec fly at the end, just because it was the only exercise that didn't exacerbate my pec. Now, I was going to run with that today, however, I didn't, and I decided to run with this seated cable fly here. So this is meant to be an incline cable fly, but the incline cable fly was just really aggravating my pec in the stretch position. So I ran with this today, as I do feel like it is going to be a little bit safer. And it actually felt pretty good. I did kind of feel my pec pinching towards the end, which isn't really a good sign. So obviously I wasn't going super heavy today. But we'll run with this for the time being, and we'll do the prime pec deck on the other day and see how we get on. And if I have to make adjustments, I have to make adjustments. Next up, we have got the Strive incline chest press. So this is the new movement on the plan that I've never done before. I have actually done the high incline prime press that we had in FLF when I used to train there. And this is obviously the older version of it, but I think the handles are actually a little bit closer together, and this actually felt super comfortable today. It felt super good. Obviously the loading is like extremely bitchy and extremely lighter, but I do know that this is a piece that I will progress on quite quickly. But overall, it felt really good. Felt it a lot on the chest and did not feel it on the delts, which is exactly what I want here, okay? Next up, you will be familiar with seeing this. We've got the Prime low incline pin loaded chest press. Absolutely love this piece. We have got 2 sets here. So sorry, I had 2 sets on the cable fly, 1 set on the Strive incline, and then 2 sets here. So they're literally just 5 sets on chest total. I love this piece. We've gone from doing 1 set of set in 5 and 1 set of set in 3 to doing both on set in 3. So this actually felt pretty easy. Now I did drop off a little bit more than I anticipated for the second set, but I was able to get really good stimulus today, a really good pump through my chest. And everything just felt really good today, guys. I felt like, pretty strong, a lot stronger than I actually anticipated, which is certainly a good sign. Next up, we move on to our first tricep exercise of the day. So this is meant to be a single arm D handle pushdown. However, I'm using the brand new hard body adjustable cuffs here. DMAC 10 for discount. Link is in the bio. And these are fucking mint. Really like these cuffs because they're super tight fit. Got neoprene on the inside. So these are perfect for push downs because they just take your wrist out of it completely. I can literally just wrap my hand around these, push down and back. Really good contraction through my tricep. Doesn't get my forearm into play at all. So we got 3 sets of 10 to 15 here. These are meant to be myo-rep sets. So myo-rep sets are basically like kind of extended drop sets. You do your set, you wait 10-15 seconds. You do as many reps as possible with the same weight. You wait 10-15 seconds. You do as many reps as possible the same way until you're down to like 2 or 3 reps. But we didn't run with that today because I'm just getting back into things. Next up then, we've got the Jim Lecco flat tricep press. So this is an exercise I would have had on my previous plan, but I would have had it after my chest pressing. And today I was like, oh, I'm doing a tricep push down beforehand. Is this going to be really weak and really shit afterwards? But you know what? Because it's like more of a press, when I did the tricep push down beforehand and I did this afterwards, I actually got more reps on this than the previous time I did this in this session because it wasn't as close to my press and I had a little bit of time in between the prime chest press and this, whereas normally I do those back to back. So I actually prefer the structure of this session here when I'm going from tricep push down to tricep press to, next up, a single arm cuffed fly. Again, using the hard body adjustable cuffs here, much better because they're like a super snug tight fit. So this is just like crossbody cuffed fly. What you'll notice here is that the cable is set up at kind of knee to mid thigh height, which is what you want, right? Because you want that lengthening just going like straight across the body there, and you want to come straight out and up rather than like up from the floor. So yeah, these felt mint. I used to do these at the very beginning of my workout in a previous push-up before I did my pressing. I don't like to train shoulders before I get into my pressing, guys. A lot of people do because it warms up their shoulders, makes them feel safer, etc. It does the opposite to me. It actually fatigues my shoulders and makes me feel less safe in my chest. So I prefer always to finish with my shoulders, if I'm honest. So that's today's session, guys. I would rate it a 8 out of 10. I liked the structure. I liked the programming. The only thing I didn't like is the lower volume, but we will be increasing that as time moves along. But overall, pretty decent. So a lot of movements are kind of similar to what I would have done before on my plan, but we can't be completely reinventing the wheel here, guys. So far, so good for the new push day. And I'll take you through the next push day when we're in the gym. But we're in for pull A tomorrow, which is going to be no biceps. It's just going to be back work and rear delt work. So that should probably only take me like an hour as well. And I think the volume is pretty low, bar 3 sets on the first lat exercise, because bro's lats are small. And bro needs to bring up his back shot, because that is what's holding me back. I think if I can bring up the back shot, guys, I'm going to be dangerous, because without sounding too cocky, I'm smoking people from the front, right? My front double, my abs and thigh, they're lights out, okay? Side chest needs to be improved, especially the way I pose it. Back shot is killing me. The back shot is killing me on stage. That's what's losing me placings. So that's what we got to bring up. But that is a wrap, guys, for today's push day. I'm going to edit this vlog tomorrow morning after I get through a couple of setups, and I'll see what's what, and then I'll wrap up the video there, because I do realize that I actually haven't given you the update I promised you at the start, which is where's my food at, where's my body weight at, how am I looking, etc., etc. So we might save that for the next video, which I'm going to be recording when I'm just approaching the 1 week out mark. So I'll see. I'll tease you for now, guys. You're going to have to wait a couple of seconds to the next clip to find out. But I'll edit this together. I'll see how the video is looking so far, and I'll decide whether or not I'll keep you hanging for the updates. Yes, guys, how are we? So we're back in action. It is the next day. We're just back from the gym. We've trained pull. It was a tremendous session. Oh, whoa. Hold on, Dara, hold on. Tremendous session today. 10 out of 10 session. Absolutely loved today's session. It was mint. Didn't record any footage. If you want to see that, go onto my Instagram, as I'm going to be posting it tomorrow morning, which is going to be the day before this vlog is dropped. So you're going to be able to go there and catch up. But we're going to wrap this vlog up here, guys. I think I will wait until the next video to give you some updates as to where we're at in terms of, you know, the food, the body weight, blah, 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 all that other sort of stuff. But we're off to the PCA Universe tomorrow with the Conte team. So I am looking forward to that one. Leaving here at about 8:30 in the morning, get there for about, 9:30, 10 o'clock. I think the show actually kicks off at like 10:30. So I might try and get there, watch the bodybuilding. I know Felly from Ultraflex Rotterdam Gym is actually going to be competing in the morning, so wouldn't mind seeing him on stage. And then the actual Universe is on the Sunday. So, it's a shame I'm not there on the Sunday, but I wanted to just pick one of the 2 days to go. And I only have arms tomorrow, so that'll be an easier session to do on the road. Probably head to the Universe tomorrow, watch the show, chill around the Conte booth for a while, chat shit with the boys, get a little bit of content, and then leave, train arms in Ultraflex Hull maybe, and just bait back and try and be back in Rotterdam nice and early. Hull isn't too long of a drive, but I've never been to Hull, so I'm excited to see what that's like. I think it's like a nice seaside town, so hopefully the weather is decent. Might go in to Hull, roam around, check things out, and just chill out and have a nice relaxing day, because I feel like since I've come back, I've had zero downtime. It's just been work, go. So it'd be nice to just, get out, escape, spend some time off my phone, actually have a bit of a day off to just do something that is a little bit different, even though I'll still be bringing the vlog, I'll still be recording, I'll still be doing all those other sort of things that I normally do. But yeah, it's going to be good, guys. I'm looking forward to it. So you'll see that in the next video. And of course, all the other updates with regards to how everything is going. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the post-show review. Hopefully you will be staying tuned for the entirety of this off-season whilst I document the process, the progress, the journey in the lead up to prep next year. So guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.